devotion to the mission. Mission comes first in all things, whether it be from Him, whether it be through AKA, whether it be through the community, people I serve. It is true devotion, and I think with devotion, like I said, is commitment. What inspired me was my father, who was in the United States Army. My father was shot with friendly fire. So he actually was shot straight through the mandible. A bullet went here and came out the other end, and his jaw separated. And I was a small child, and I watched him recover. Sadly, he passed away. But there were a lot of questions I had regarding the military and regarding healthcare. That's where the marriage came for me. And I'm a retired United States Air Force nurse, and he inspired me because he always told me that the nurses treated him better than the doctors, and he had a greater outcome, and his outlook was so much brighter after the nurses took care of him. The doctors were in just for a minuscule amount of time. So he inspired, his health issues inspired me on the healthcare circuit. But the Army piece, and they actually helped him so much. They were there to help him with services and the different agencies that he needed to recover despite his demise. And I wanted to see how those two actually married. So that's what got me I was a little bit curious about that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think we even still hear that today, how patients really rely on the nurses for that extra care.
Yes.
Right? What drew you to Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and how has your membership influenced your personal mission to serve?
Alpha Kappa Alpha had been a dream of mine forever. I will share that with you. I have several members of my family, except my mother. She was Zeta Phi Beta, that were out in the community doing the work. And that inspired me with the tree planting and Ronald McDonald House and the different things. And I actually got involved in it, and I didn't have to be an AKA. They allowed me to kind of taste the tea, take a sip, and I was hooked. It was just that particular piece that helped me just kind of gain a greater interest in AKA and what they did, and then the leadership opportunities that were there. And I will say this, I graduated from college at age 16, and I went into Florida A&M University at 16 years old, and I saw a lot of AKAs on campus, and the influence, wow, well put together, well spoken, people from all different, they had all different walks of life. Yeah. So it was very, very inspirational for me.
And to clarify, you said you graduated from what at 16? High school or
high
college?
school, I'm sorry. Went into Florida A&M, HBCU, at 16. So yeah, I had a great experience.
And in what ways have your military service and your work in AKA complemented or maybe even strengthened each other?
I tell you this, during COVID, we had a lot of people scrambled, but I had a level head, and especially in my chapter, because I knew we needed risk management. And that was the key to, and actually that's the key to just about anything you can do, financial, health, you name it. But during the COVID scenario, I put a team together. We had, well, of course, we had all of our walking documents and all of our guidance from above. But marrying my clinical knowledge with the leadership opportunities that were there with AKA, and trying to ensure the health and safety of all of my sorority sisters, it gave me a great, I don't know, a really great feeling. But when they married, it was needed. That COVID, it attacked us and it came up, And boom, we had to do something right away, but we had to make sure it was correct and we had to make sure it was pinpoint because we did not want to lose one single SOAR inside and outside of the organization that we served.
Was it instinctive to step up like that during that time?
You have no idea. I was an infection control officer went back when I was a captain or major. And that is something that was true to my heart. That's instinctive. You can ask my husband. Even when I go to restaurants, it's instinctive for me. So it was part of my DNA. Yes, to do that.
Because I'm thinking about that time, nobody knew what was going on or, what to do next, how to keep safe, where we needed,
exactly,
all of that.
And so I tapped into the epidemiologist, so I looked at the resources that we had at hand and I built a risk management program. And it was actually that was a scary time, but we allayed the fears of our SOARs, and that's what we needed to do, resolve and make sure we made people comfortable during that time, but still able to do the work. Thank God for technology too.
Yes. And do you think your training helped you sort of weather that storm? I mean, because I think of, even just a couple of days ago when I was stuck in the elevator, like I knew it wasn't going to be long, but I'm like, oh Lord, I'm panicking on the inside. But, knowing my training from the job that I do, I know how to look okay on the outside and just fall apart on the inside. Do you think your training helped you sort of stay level-headed and keep others level-headed?
Absolutely. And knowing about vaccinations that were required and the upcoming ones, because they were still brewing different vaccinations, and knowing what type of personal protective equipment, all of that came from my prior life. I was a nurse prior to joining the military. I was in the emergency room, and it was an indigent hospital, and I felt like MacGyver there. So we had to build a lot of things with no money. So a lot of that I actually brought into AKA and to the risk management scene. And that's how I was actually able, because we came from nothing with an indigent hospital into a scenario where we knew nothing. And so tapping into resources, and AKA, we have, like I said, from epidemiologists, we have nurse practitioners, we have infection control specialists. So I was able to utilize those resources we had right at our fingertips and in our sisterhood.
So I always like to, which is actually a good question, look towards the next generation. So what message would you share with future generations of women who may be called to both service to our country and service to our community?
I will use two words: be preventative and be committed. Preventative, I would say, do all of the things that you need to do to keep yourself on track. And the preventative way is making sure all your standards are met, all your boxes are checked, to make sure you don't have to continue to look back. If you do things with a preventative stance, I think you'll be on the right track. And commitment, no matter what it is you do, stick with it, stay the course. You're going to have distractions left and right, but you know what? You know what's best for you. I know God knows what's best for me. So I depend on Him to lead and guide me. However, I'm committed to whatever He tells me to do. And just the military. If my leader above told me to do something, by George, I had to do it, and I was committed to do it no matter what. Just stay the course.
How would you encourage even young women to even look into military service and healthcare within the military? I mean, we've been hearing about both inside and out of military culture, the need for nurses. The shortage is real.
We are exsanguinating with nurses. It is really, that is a topic that my cohorts and I talk about all the time. As far as I'd say the nurses that are, or people that are even thinking about any area in the healthcare field, because medicine is it's a very
It's evolving, number
so it
one.
is evolving, but it's extremely fulfilling. But it takes a special person to do that. You know, healthcare, and it's not all about needles and bedpans like people think, because from neonatal intensive care to PACU to being a commander, you know, a chief nurse. I worked for the Inspector General of the United States of America. There are so many avenues that a person could take within the nursing realm. Whatever job there is in the civilian sector, we have it in the military. And guess what? If you do it in the military, you're doing it with so much honor, and you're doing it to serve your country. And not only that, you get to retire at year 20.
That's a good one, right?
You do, with all the benefits and perks. I did almost 25 years.
That's awesome.
And that's one thing, a great retirement program and a lot of benefits that you'll get on a continuum. Yes.
One more, I had one more question. I just lost it.
That's okay.
One of the questions posed to us earlier was, you know, why do we think AKA is so visible nowadays? Obviously, we had a former vice president who is a member, and I think we've just sort of been put on this stage that others are noticing us. And what would you say to someone who is surprised, you know, that one, you served in the military, and one, that you served in the medical field in the military? You're an AKA, you served in the military, what would be your reaction to that?
Well, I would say to them, I am closing the gap. And I say that because I am fulfilling many goals. And you can be very inclusive with your life, and I feel that I am complete. Let's put it that way. I love service. So service to mankind. I'm serving the population, the people that are ill and the ones that are well, because that's the preventive piece. You want to keep them well. I am serving my God, because that's a calling I believe I have. But I really would say that that continuity between the two of those, it meshes. It really does mesh. I feel that's the honor in being able to do both of those things. Great opportunities.
You mentioned before we started talking about a time when you were in a coma, and unsure if you were going to come out of that coma. Do you want to talk a little bit about that real quickly?
Sure. And I will say this: it was a very harrowing time for me and my family, as you can imagine. But I ended up with a pretty daunting bacteria in my bloodstream, and it rendered me literally dead. And they said I was brain dead. And if you know your normal numbers for your blood pressure, mine was 60 over 0 for 7 days. And my temperature was 109.9. And you can bake a muffin in an oven at 109 degrees for 7 days. So my brain was literally ablaze. But praise God, I came out of that, and I believe it was just the glory of God, because there were 3 other people in the ICU that did not make it, and we all had the same bacteria. And that's another reason I gung-ho went into infectious disease after coming out of that coma, because it gave me that drive to want to figure out how, when, why, how do we stop this from happening to other people. But yeah, it was pretty harrowing, and if you would imagine, I was down to 98 pounds. And I came back strong with that vengeance to know who, why, what, when, and how do we keep this from happening. And then, once you find out how to keep it from happening, maintain that preventative course.
So you were on the edge. You were almost there. When you look back over your life, your service to this country, your
Yes.
service to all mankind, one word to describe it.
Devotion. A devotion to the mission, devotion to the mission, devotion to the mission. Mission comes first in all things, whether it be from Him, whether it be through AKA, whether it be through the community, people I serve. It is true devotion. And I think with devotion, like I said, is commitment. And that's how my mother raised me. You start it, you end it, you put that period behind it, you go to sleep knowing that you've done the most amazing job because you've devoted everything within you to that cause. Yes.